Well, we are Dennis and Amy Uecker, and I was raised in a North American missions church in South Dakota. And Amy?
I was raised in El Salvador, Central America, as an MK there. My parents were missionaries for about 21 years to the country of El Salvador.
It's very common for a missionary to be appointed to one country. And in our case, our appointment has expanded, and we are appointed to all of Europe as regional teachers. We also have Spain specifically added to our appointment for various reasons, and we base out of Barcelona, Spain. And so we kind of like to say that Europe is our country, if you will, and God has just really given us a vision for what He wants to do in Europe. One of the ministries that we have is we work with Global Campus Ministries, and we are the coordinators of university ministry in Europe. And so that gives us the opportunity, with our appointment, to be able to travel and do training seminars in different countries, and we just have a lot of flexibility with that. And it's just really exciting to be part of what God is doing and seeing all the different connections that He's making to see souls saved around the world through Europe.
So Spain, it's amazing to be appointed, of course, to all of Europe regional teaching, but God has just moved us to Spain. We've been there for a year and 5 months now. And it's an amazing country. It's very complex if you kind of study the history, the culture, the different regions and everything. But in the context of doing this missions training and reaching the nations, what I love about the work, the church, the church and the work, the kingdom of God in Spain, is they have such a heart for reaching out, and them recognizing that it's strategic what God is really allowing us to partner with Him in Spain to reach Europe. Also, the international aspect, especially in Barcelona, the nations are there coming, they're there living there, and the opportunity that you have with training and just reaching the souls there, that it might be a nation where we will never be able to step foot in, but God has those people there that you can reach out to, and it will be them who go back to their cities, their nations, to take that gospel.
The church in Spain really does have a burden for missions and for reaching the world. And the country of Spain has already sent regional missionaries to the countries of Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and Romania, and they want to be able to send missionaries from Spain to other countries. And I really feel that's where the end time revival is going to come from, is that when the nations get the burden for missions that we have, and that burden, they begin to go out and the nations are reaching the nations, and I believe the end time revival will come from that. So along those lines, we have had, just in the last year, we've had youth leaders, regional youth leaders from parts of Spain that have reached out to us, and they said, hey, we want you to start teaching our young people. Can you help us train our young people in missions from an early age, how to win souls and how to do missions work? And then it began to grow, and so we've been contacted by the missions director for Spain. You could call it kind of like the home missions director, and they've said the same thing. Okay, we want you to start training us, doing training and teaching how to do missions work. Because it's not just for church planting in Spain, but we want to be able to equip and send people out to other nations.
The one that stands out the most of the last 6 months is this miracle building that we have in Barcelona. And no doubt that it's years of prayer and people working that came so much earlier before us, of course, but to see that come to fruition, there was a Catholic church in one of the oldest parts, the heart of Barcelona. It's called Gracia, and it's just a complete miracle how that even came available to be bought, to be purchased. And so the Pentecostales de Barcelona church put a down payment down, and they signed the contract. And it is such a miracle that we get that opportunity to own a building and in a place, when you look at it, it's a total God thing.
For what we do in Spain, Spain has just a dynamic Bible school program. And it's very solid, it's really good, it produces a lot of good ministers. But one of the things that we kind of specialize in is we can take someone who's already gone to Bible school and already has a strong doctrinal foundation, and we kind of put them in sort of like a missions boot camp. And so, the gospel doesn't change no matter where you go, but how we apply it to a different culture and how we connect it to different cultures, that might change. And so when we're doing missions, we're going out of our own environment and we're going into another language group, another people group, and trying to reach them. And so when we do our missions boot camp, we basically can take a Spaniard or a North American or someone from other parts of Europe, and we essentially teach them some of the things, biblical principles of how you can take the gospel and take it to another culture and people group that you want to reach.
It is a miracle in so many ways, the building, the financial aspect, just the opportunity, and I know that it's a very strategic thing, and I'm excited to see the impact that the local church has on that community, but what it provides for the impact on Europe and the world.
And so what God has done is he has given us basically a school of missions. He knew the desire of our heart. He knew the vision that he had given us and how we were trying to implement it. And he just kind of said, hey, watch this. And did something that we never saw coming. And so we have a school of missions that we're developing that has actual dorms in it right in the heart of Barcelona. And we're so excited to see what God's going to do with that. Yeah. If there was one thing that I think I would like the North American church to know about what God is doing right now, it's something that I've kind of referred to before, but I want them to understand that it's not just the North American church reaching the world, but because of decades of giving and people going and the burden and the passion, the lives that have been given to do missions from North America, that same passion is contagious. Yes. And the nations are beginning to get that same burden. And so now they are sending people to places that we, with a North American passport, we can't even go into some countries. But yet God is having us reach people, opening up doors for them to go places. And it's just exciting to see that, to see the generations of the different cultures and nations going out and the gospel spreading throughout the earth.
I don't know if there's just one thing that we need. Maybe there would be a couple of things. The first one is people that are called to missions. And I think this call would go out more, to those that are called, but of course to pastors too, that know who God is wanting to send to the mission field. Because we always say, we feel that God's greatest resources is people, souls. It's something that when you're given that opportunity to work with someone or care for someone, you can't put a price on that. We are God's prized possession in a way. So we need people, because we need missionaries. We want to have what I consider to privilege to be able to train and work with people.
As my wife said, the thing that we really need, we need people. We need laborers, not just bodies to come to the harvest field, but we want actual laborers, people who have a willingness to work. And we really believe that there are laborers that are, you could say like Matthew chapter 20, they're standing around and the Lord is saying, why are you standing here? And they say, well, there's no one to hire us. And so we want to do everything we can to give them an opportunity to get connected to one of the Lord's fields. And so to all the North American pastors, you know who they are. The people you have in your church, the ones that God has a calling on their life to go into missions, and you know when they're going to be ready. And so we ask that you just send them our way. And we will do everything we can with the help of the Lord to prepare them and to get them connected to his field where he's called them to go.